Hey everybody, it's Michael from Replica Airguns with another tabletop video for everybody. Today we are looking at the mighty Umarex HK30 AEG full auto airsoft pistol. And again, this is the tabletop review. I haven't done the field test shooting video. They're kind of backing up. I got a lot of guns I got to do field test shooting videos for. So pardon me for that. I want to try to get to them shortly. I'll be doing a lot of field test shooting videos in the future to get caught up. That said, I have kind of shot this gun. I couldn't help myself. I wanted to see what it shot like. This is the first time I've seen a full auto AEG in this price range in a pistol. And any of those kind of situations is really kind of a different product. I can say the velocity is fairly low, but that might be a kind of a pro in a way I'll describe later or talk about later. In terms of full auto cycle rate, it actually was a little faster than I thought it would be. Considering the specifications were 200 rounds per minute, I think it's maybe a little faster than that. And again, it's fast enough for the way that I'm going to describe this gun as why I would purchase it. All right, let's get into some of the specifications. It is a pretty much all plastic design with just a few metal parts like the barrel, maybe a couple other internal parts. It does have a working slide with blowback action, which is kind of neat. It is a Walther licensed and has the trademarks via Umarex. It is an AEG powered pistol via 4 AAA batteries, so AAA batteries, that are housed in the pistol grip. I'll show you that later. It does use 6mm plastic airsoft BBs and has a smooth bore barrel with an internal preset hop-up system. It does come with two 16-shot dropout curved plastic magazines. Again, I'll show you that in a bit. And it weighs in at a whopping 0.8 pounds or 362 grams. The barrel is 5 inches or 127 millimeters, and again, it is a smooth bore metal barrel. The Umarex HK30 shoots in single action only since it is an AEG. Basically, it's an electric trigger. It does utilize an integrated grip safety, has a claimed FPS of 180, and as I mentioned already, has a 200 shots per minute full auto cycle rate. This product is licensed and distributed by Umarex and it's made in Taiwan. And like most lower cost pistols, even higher cost pistols, they often come in these clamshell plastic cases, or not even a case, shell. So here you have electric, blowback, shots, 200 rounds per minute. And then we have some more information. Full auto, semi-auto, velocity 180, metal barrel, precision accuracy, yeah, we'll find out. Hop-up, integrated 16 rounds, authentic replica, and 6mm airsoft. Does have that orange tip, as you can see on the box. And then you've got pretty much all the same stuff there, right? That's where all your little goodies go in there. What are the goodies? Well, you get some plastic ammo, not much, but enough to get you started. You get two of these magazines. One is in the gun, so I can't show it to you right now. I could, but there's two exactly like this, and they hold 16 rounds. You just load them from the top, just press them in essentially. And of course, you get your manual with a lot of the same information. I don't think there's anything too much here. 7 inches in length, I didn't mention that already. And this says 0.5 pounds, so even less than what I said, but that's what it says on the manual. On the websites, it does say 0.8, so I guess 0.5, even lighter. It is light, so whatever you want to call it, 0.5 or 0.8, it's light. Has that metal barrel, all of that stuff. It's one of these fold-out ones you can never get back to the same configuration once you've opened it. All right, so you've just got, all your safe, fire, how to get to the batteries, how to load the magazine, how to aim, right? Full auto mode, there's a switch there as you can see, and that's basically it. I think it's all the same, just a different language on the other page. I'm not really going to compare it to other HK guns, but it does look a lot like an HK, other than this little safety coming out here that wouldn't be found on any of the HK guns. And I'll zoom into it in a little bit here, but it does look pretty decent. It's got this sort of open slide area cut out. So I mean, a lot of the replica important features are ticked, or I'd say checkboxes are ticked. In terms of it being a replica, I don't know if this could come off. You could probably easily paint that, mask it off and paint it. You wouldn't really want to cut it off. The barrel is, now they say it's 5 inches. Yeah, I'm going to say they're kind of exaggerating potentially a little bit here. I'd say it's closer to 4 inches in my books. I haven't measured it, but maybe it's 4.5. It does have this reticulating hammer here. It doesn't do anything. Basically, the electric, I think the spring, essentially when this comes back, is what shoots this gun. There's not a lot, and I will cycle it in a second here, but let's just take a good look at it anyways here. So Got the serial number. You have the the slide catch release here. It's molded in. You do have the warning instructions here. They're very, very discreet. You can barely even pick them up. I don't know if you can read them. You've got Umarex trademarks here, Heckler and Koch, right? You've got the open ejection port. Now, there are no white dots, but you could probably use like some white touch-up paint or something and get it in there with a toothpick. Some people have done that just to get white dots on the back. Maybe just leave the front. Yeah, you've got this Picatinny rail with the serial number. You got some more stuff on the bottom here, just warning information. Here's where the batteries go. Okay, so you can see you got 4 AAA batteries, and you can see their configuration. It tells you on the top here where to put them, how to put them in there. You've got this magazine that just pressure fits in. Okay, you don't actually have a magazine release, you just sort of pry it out. And there's the same as the first one I showed you. You know, pretty straightforward gun. Looks okay. I mean, it's not bad. The all black one looks the part for sure. You could cut this off to shorten it up so that it's not sticking out, because there is no inner barrel. That's not going to affect it at all. You could, shorten it up as much as you want and then paint this black. I don't think it comes off too easy if you want it to be more realistic. So there's your, get in here, there's your semi and full auto. So we'll put it on semi-auto, and I'll show you now. Nothing's going to happen until you push this down. Really snappy, huh? That's really going to rock your hand. Full auto. It's kind of fun, It really barely even penetrates paper downrange unless it's maybe a single sheet. But if you got a bunch of paper like I generally have all stacked up against each other, it has a difficult time penetrating it. So when I do my field test shooting video, I'm probably just going to put a single sheet on there and just try to secure it so it doesn't bend too easily. And hopefully I can get some rounds to show as shooting through the paper, because I gave it a shot just a bit ago and I couldn't even get it to penetrate the paper. That gives you an idea of the velocity. So now, before I get into all the pros and cons I listed, because I hadn't shot it yet before I did my pros and cons listing, I just wanted to go over who this is for, why I might buy it if I was going to buy such a gun. And the reason I would buy something like this is for the mere fact that it does shoot really slow. Slow enough that I would say you could use it indoors, like without having to protect things and put all sorts of blankets up to protect windows and stuff. Now that said, could it break a window or a glass or something? Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't tried it. I haven't done any testing, but it doesn't barely even penetrate paper. It shoots fast enough that you could shoot people like 30 to 40 feet away. It just takes a bit to get there. But if I wanted to just like do an indoor, say downstairs in the basement sort of shooting thing, instead of having to go to an airsoft field, then this would be ideal for some sort of indoor, close quarters, at home type setup. It would be a lot of fun, and you wouldn't really have to worry too much about much protection other than eye protection. If it hit you in the face, it might sting a tiny bit, but nothing like a regular airsoft pistol. So kind of like an alternative to a Nerf gun, but just making a little bit more of a mess, since you're going to have full auto airsoft BBs all over the place once you're finished. But hey, it's an option, right? All right, let's get into some of the actual pros and cons that I've listed. It is low cost and even comes with an extra mag and some starter BBs, so that's kind of nice. It does have those 2 dropout magazines that hold 16 rounds, which are nice for continuous shooting without having to reload as often. So if you're in that aforementioned airsoft basement battle, you'll be able to quickly swap out an additional mag. It does have a rail for accessories. It does have a working slide, again with that blowback action I showed you. It shoots again in both semi and full auto, which is selectable in the trigger area just on top there. You do not require any CO2, so perhaps better in colder weather being an AEG. Now, that said, it doesn't shoot very fast, so you don't really have to worry too much about cooldown, but at least you don't have to worry again about expensive CO2, just expensive AAA batteries. It is Walther licensed via Umarex, has that grip safety to help stop unwanted accidental shots. It's also nice they put that metal plate serial number on the receiver just under the barrel. And the warning instructions are fairly non-obtrusive. Someone with my old eyes can barely read them, and they do not stand out much at all. And the trigger, being an AEG-styled electric trigger, is nice and light. It's a bit long, but it is light. All right, a few cons. It is super lightweight, whether it's 0.5 or 0.8 pounds, it's lightweight. I don't think either way it matters. It's just light, keep that in mind. And again, it does have a very low FPS or velocity, and the cycle rate is nothing to write home about. It does, of course, come with an orange tip, which you can't remove, but you could cut it down if you want and paint it all black. And again, the sights are all black, hard to see on dark objects. But if you wanted to, you could probably put some white dots on the rear since it's got those countersunk left and right circles you can paint up if you want. All right, that wraps up this review of the Umarex P30 AEG Airsoft Pistol. Make sure to check out our online stores, replicaairguns.ca for Canada, replicaairguns.us for the US. I'll put links to directly buy these as long as they're in stock. We also have other products in both those stores. We have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories. And I will be posting a written review with additional photos over at replicaairguns.com, so check that out as well. All right, thanks again for watching another Replica Airguns video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Until next time, take care.